Hello, beautiful beings. Oh, do you know what? Just as it was quiet, the builders started doing some angle grinding or whatever. I hope you can't hear the builder and you can just hear me, but that might not be the case. I thought he was going home because it was too cold, but he might not be. I'm on my way to Royal Somerton in the Isle of Somerset. But on the way, I happen to be passing one of my favourite places, one of my favourite trees actually, which is a tree in Compton, Dundon. It's really ancient. It's over 2,000 years old. I have shown you this beautiful tree before. It's behind me. It's magnificent. We're going to take a closer look at it because it truly is one of my favourite trees. So let's just look at the background behind us. So we're just looking out over Somerset near Compton, Dundon. Some really powerful energy and woods here. Ancient sites. I literally can feel the ancestors here. Hello. So we're going to go over to my favourite tree, the one behind me, which is the sacred Yew Tree at the church in Compton, Dundon. I love this tree. Over the years, I think I've spoken about this tree before, but it is such a magical tree, and it's so cold today. It's really cold. I'm quite excited because I've got a new coat that's really warm, so it's exciting. You know, when you get a new coat and you're like, I can try out my new coat because it's so cold and see, whoops, I've dropped a glove. I'm sorry about the noise because I just spoke to the builder and he's doing some building work over there. But we're just going to try and excuse the noise. I hope you can excuse the noise. We're just going to look at the magical yew tree. And people do hang things on this yew tree, and it's such a beautiful tree. And if you're very, very thin, you can actually get inside the yew tree. It's a long time since I would have been able to get inside the yew tree. Hold on 1 second. Look how beautiful it is. Can you see? Beautiful. And inside there's actually a heart, but I don't know if you can see it now because it's a bit late in the day, but the bark inside actually makes a heart shape, but I don't think you can see it. It's such a beautiful tree. It fills me with joy and happiness to be at the tree, but I don't know if any of you have stayed with me. You might have left the ancient energies of the yew tree and the noise of the builder, sadly. But this yew tree is so spectacular. I don't know if we're losing signal, but I can't see many of you with me. And people do hang doodahs on the tree. It's much better if you're coming to honour the tree or ask for something from the tree, you know, just bring a feather, you know, bring a feather for the tree. Or the elementals do enjoy a shell. The elementals like a shell or a little stone on the tree, or, you know, just bring some lavender, maybe not the bag, you know, and someone's tied a bell here, like a fairy bell, and some little shell, obviously for the fairies. See, that's the right thing to do. It's a shell, and this is just a piece of grass tied. So, and this woolly thing, a bit of a sheep. Honouring the tree, bringing little trinkets for the tree and asking for blessings from the tree. I'm sorry about the noise. It's not turning into such a magical, sacred little time with the tree. I didn't tell the builder I was making a live, so he doesn't know that I can hear him. But anyway, it is what it is. There's another lady just arrived and she's popping off now. It was such a spontaneous thing to make this little video because I'm on the way to a place called Royal Somerton. Well, it was the old charter town of Somerton. It was very powerful back in the day. I'm losing my voice while I'm here, but I'm at the most spectacular ancient yew tree, and I love to come here and connect with this tree. And I thought, oh look, someone else has left a little gifts. These are proper gifts. This is a proper gift for the tree. And just look at the magnificence of this tree. ancient, if the tree could speak, which trees can speak, and they do speak to you. And I thought it was interesting that I've come today because I've been promoting the gratitude diaries today, and they're made of trees. So in a way, it's coming to honour the tree for all the things that we gain from the trees. You know, so many beautiful things we gain from the trees. And today, as some of you know, I'm friends with Danny Henderson, and she did make me laugh today. She asked me how to create how she lights her logs in a log burn. And it's so funny because I got so excited about telling her how to burn logs and all the wisdom that I've gained in 12 years of living in the countryside with a log burner. And I realise it's a rite of passage. It's a lot of things to learn. It's a lot of things to be able to light a log burner with the first match that you strike without any fire lighters, and either just a bit of sawdust or a tiny bit of newspaper and a piece of kindling, sometimes not even that, and you can get a fire going. And it is a rite of passage, you know, but all these things involve beautiful trees, beautiful, you know, ancient trees. And the ringing cedar trees, they give off a shrill ring. That's why they're called, well, they're called cedars, but there is a great book, some of you have read the Anastasia books, which are part of the Ringing Cedars series. And you know, that's about the cedar tree giving off a shrill ring when it wants to be felled, otherwise it will die anyway. So it's telling you its time has come, it's completed its cycle. Not all trees last forever, some don't last. They're you know, I'm not a tree expert by any sense of the imagination, but obviously the yew trees, which I'm under now at the church in Compton, Dundon, the yew trees always lined like graveyards. I don't know if that's because they had deep roots. I don't know why the yew trees were always putting graveyards. If any of you know, please post below why they always planted yew trees in near churches and graveyards. I don't know the story of that. So I thought that's quite interesting. So anyway, I was going to sing a light language, but I'm worried the builder might start his axle grinding again, but we'll give it a little go. So let's just close our eyes. And the cows are mooing, but I don't think you can hear the cows mooing. Cows often moo near sunset. So Naratikia nara nara yorora nalayaro narahuaya layaruru naraya takaruru tayalara nyanya rutukuru tayalalala makuru satakaya naru Beautiful. Just a little song from me, because my head's connected to the tree, from me and the tree, maybe the song of the tree. Because remember, in African times, in ancient times, if a lady wanted to get pregnant in ancient African times, she would go and sit under the tree until she connected to the song of the soul of the baby that wanted to come to her. And then she would sing that song to herself till she remembered it. And then she would go home and sing the song of the soul of the baby that wanted to come to her and her partner. And then they would sing the song of the soul to the family and to the community. And some of you might know this story. And then once the baby was born, at every auspicious occasion in the baby's life, the song of the soul of the baby would be sung back to them. But what I like the most about the song of the soul of the baby that come from sitting under the tree, the sacred trees, was if you ever did a misdemeanor in your life or in the community, in these African tribes, instead of, in the UK, we'd send you to prison or you'd be fined or you'd be violently hit or something. In these ancient tribes, if you did something wrong, the community would gather to sing the song of the soul back to you to remind you of who you truly are and where you come from, and to take you back into your heart. So, you know, when you were born, the song of the soul would be sung to you, and then the song of the soul would be sung to you again. You know, as you were passing away or dying, the community or your friends would gather, and your family, to sing the song of the soul back to you. So throughout your life, entering and leaving, the song of your soul would be sung back to you, which I truly love that. And that's, you know, the power sitting under the ancient trees. And the trees always speak to us. You know, they always have messages for us. And but it's only those who listen to the song of the tree and what it wants to tell you. And, you know, I have this amazing tree in my garden. I have this amazing plum tree that actually has a heart in it, like this tree. But sadly, you can't see the heart in this tree because I've come too late in the day, although it is a beautiful lighting. So I'm sending you all so much love for listening to me while I speak about the trees, visit the sacred yew tree. I mean, also we're coming up to that time of year where it's, you know, tree time. Try and buy a tree that you can replant next year, that you don't need to cut the roots off for Christmas trees. I personally, you know, I had a real Christmas tree once. You know, once in my life I had a real Christmas tree, and it was really big, and I decorated. I really enjoyed it. But in general, my parents, we had a fake tree. We had this silver tinsel tree for years, and then we had this plastic tree. And then I used to go and get broken branches and decorate the broken branch myself, which is what I do. If I do it, I will get a broken branch or something. So if you do love a Christmas tree, and I know they look beautiful, try and get one that's got roots that you can plant outside afterwards, or you can do something with it that it doesn't just die, you know, after your one Christmas. So yes, that's some top tips for the trees for Christmas. And then, you know, go and pick some yew branches from sacred trees like this. If you ask the tree permission, it might let you take its branches, you know. So thank you for joining me now, and in much gratitude for the tree, for all the wonderful things that the trees make for us. And so that's quite interesting in the day of the gratitude diary, that we're giving gratitude to the tree. Not that it's a diary I've made, it's the wonderful Melanie Spears, who lives in Australia. She creates this beautiful diary called the Gratitude Diary, which I've bought for the last 10 years, and this year they haven't distributed it in the UK. So I took it upon myself to order some wholesale and distribute them myself. The UK will be full of some gratitude diaries. So sending you much love. And as you know, I do past life regression, inner child healing, ancestral timeline healing, between lives, womb healing, and that's in person. And then what I do online is I work with the emotional Akashic records, very specific, always talking about the emotional Akashic records. So sending you all so much love from the magical, sacred, beautiful, just take another look at this yew tree, the sacred yew tree at the church in Compton, London. And it does say, here's a beautiful little sign. I think this is, I am an ancient tree, you enter my presence at your own risk, which I think is beautiful. Beautiful tree, just a stunning, magnificent tree. So just enjoy the beautiful tree. So much love, many blessings from Compton, London, and the sacred tree. Bye bye.